I don't want to say endless, but we have over 300 chefs in just New York City area. So you name it, everything that you can think of, and you can't necessarily find those cuisines in restaurants because they're so niche and so authentic.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Merav Kalish Rozengarten. She's the co-founder and CMO at WoodSpoon. Merav, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Merav, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So as you probably noticed from my very obvious accent, I'm from Israel. I grew up there, served in the Air Force, did my BA and MA in communication from the WriteForMe University. I was a teacher assistant there for a while and also research assistant. But I fell in love with entrepreneurship when I joined AnyVision. It's a startup company as their first employee and CMO. So it was a very good school for me to learn how to build a company from scratch, how to raise money, how to build a pitch deck, how to build a strategy, a marketing strategy, go-to-market strategy. And this is where I fell in love with building something.
Yeah.
Also, it's very important for me to say that I'm a mom of two boys, Dan and Roy, and the wife of Nadal.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So it sounds like you have such an eclectic experience that led you to be, one of the founders at WoodSpoon. So tell me more about WoodSpoon.
So yeah, we started WoodSpoon, my partner and I, Owen, and both of us moved from Israel to the States between 6 to 7 years ago. Each and every one of us with their own family and their own story. I moved here because my husband had here a great opportunity, but I found myself really missed home, right? I'm an immigrant, used to eat the authentic food that the Israeli cuisine has to offer. And my partner and I, Owen, which is also an Israeli immigrant, we found ourselves wondering, how is it possible that in a city like New York City, where you can literally order anything on a click of a button, you can't order homemade food from people around you, from your neighbors, from your community, from probably a lot of people that cook at the moment. So this is where WoodSpoon idea started. So WoodSpoon is a marketplace for private chefs, and WoodSpoon helps private chefs to create their own businesses. We take care of all of the logistics from the delivery, marketing, payments, packaging, literally everything. The cooks needs just to do what they do best.
Wow.
So from a customer point of view, the experience is very similar to any other food delivery apps or services. You can order on demand in advance, just open an app or the website, see who is cooking around you, and just order homemade food.
Wow. So walk me through this. So the cooks, are they kind of at their own location? Are they at WoodSpoon? Talk me through that.
So yeah, we have a very large variety of cooks. We have cooks that we onboard or chefs that we onboarded to the platform that used to cook for a Michelin stars restaurant, and now they wanted to start their own business and they didn't have a space to do so. So we help them with finding a ghost kitchen or commercial kitchens that we're working with, and we're putting them there. Some of them already works from a commercial kitchen, so they just need help with customers or the delivering, which is a big hassle for them to deal with. But yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So it sounds like you're giving opportunities to a lot of people who necessarily wouldn't have the opportunities to cook food that is, very near and dear to their heart.
Yeah, definitely. This is our main mission. And I mean, when we scale, it was right when the pandemic started. So we started WoodSpoon on 2019,
Yeah.
and then the COVID hit. So unfortunately, a lot of people lost their job, especially from the food industry. But luckily, we were there. And all of a sudden, we started getting a lot of requests to join the platform
Yeah.
and cook from WoodSpoon. And luckily, we were there to help them still make a living and still do what they love to do. And this is cook. But from the comfort of their own place, safely,
Yeah.
and build their own brand.
Wow. So in a time that could have been, a absolute travesty, like, life-changing, a terrible, terrible event, it sounds like you were able to really give opportunities to chefs to be able to explore their own passions, and, keep their dreams alive, but also probably financially their families as well.
Exactly. This is our main mission, to help them create their own brand, their own, we call it a mini restaurant.
Yeah.
Small business. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me about some of the different cuisines that WoodSpoon kind of has in its repertoire.
So I don't want to say endless, but we have over 300 chefs in just New York City area. So you name it, everything that you can think of, and you can't necessarily find those cuisines in restaurants because they're so niche and so authentic. It can be. We have a lot of the cuisines from the Caribbean, very specific cuisines from the Caribbean. Israeli, obviously, it was very. I mean, we started from the need to have Israeli food, right? But from Lebanon to Greek to Italian, American, whatever you can name it, and very special and things that you can get in restaurants. I can tell you about myself, especially that there is things like jachnon. This is a very traditional Israeli food that I was craving so badly before I had WoodSpoon, and I just couldn't find it. Couldn't find the real deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sure there is tons of communities now that discovered WoodSpoon and say, hey, I can actually get this authentic dish that I was so craving, or I missed it from my home country. And now I can see someone that can actually cook like my mom, like my grandma, like the food that I grew up on.
Yeah. So you mentioned being in New York. Are there other cities and locations that you're in?
So yes, we're in some of locations in Jersey, so all around Bergen County, Jersey City, Hoboken, in Jersey, all 5 boroughs in New York. We started a little bit in Philly.
Okay.
And starting a pilot in Boston very soon, and keep to expand to the whole state, hopefully.
That's so amazing. That's great. And obviously, I'm an upstater, so if you can push your way up north, let me know. I will travel back home. But so talk to me. So say I'm a chef that wants to pursue working with WoodSpoon. Break that down for me. Where would I start? How would I go about it?
So definitely, you can just apply to become a chef through our WoodSpoon homepage. Just go to the website and apply to become a chef. And then someone from our chef's team will reach out. And then there is a process. Like potentially everyone can become a chef, but we need to make sure that everything is very safe and the food that we're delivering to the customers are in the right standards, and everything is super safe and meets the quality of taste that we need.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you will meet with one of the chef's team members. You will go through a process of home inspections and some checklists that we have, a food audition. So we'll taste the food and see that it meets the standards. After you will get accepted, and you will get everything that you need to start, like a starter kit with the packaging, and you go through the app, and everyone will show you how to use it. And we have food critics community that keeps ordering every week and then make sure that everything is in the right standards, the packaging, the everything. It's still how we tasted it. And also you can, as a customer, you can also rank and write a review, and we take those reviews very seriously. And this is the power of the mass.
Yeah.
That can write reviews.
That's fantastic. So, Merav, what would you say one of the biggest misconceptions either about WoodSpoon or kind of like the culinary industry would be?
I think maybe I don't know if this specifically about the culinary field, rather than the shared economy. I think it's very hard for people in the beginning to adopt any product from the shared economy. I remember myself when Uber just started, or Airbnb, I was very skeptical on the concept of sharing a car with someone, or to get into a car of someone that I don't know. I was kind of nervous, like what if God forbid something happened? Like, it's not my car, I don't know this person. And also with Airbnb, like the concept for me in the beginning, right? Like now I'm a very heavy user of Airbnb and Uber, obviously. But I couldn't grant the concept of sleeping in someone else's bed and using someone else's tower barrier. After I overcome the barrier of using the product for the first time, and got the experience myself and understand the power of community and how community can help each other just being better and help each other, I think this is where magic happens. This is where we're starting to be better to each other, helping each other. And I think this is the big
misperception. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And I think that goes kind of beyond, that can apply to life, not necessarily just WoodSpoon or, like you said, the culinary field, but really to life as well, like the importance of community. And also too, pulling in WoodSpoon, the fact that you're able to make people have that sense of home, to be able to give them that sense of like, in a world where they may not feel connected or they may not feel like they're seen or anything like that, giving them just that little sense of home, I can imagine can make somebody feel, just a world of difference.
Yeah, and you're totally right. And on top of that, I feel like we miss the personal connection. Like the world goes more and more into trying to find your community and more of like those personal connections rather than those mass industrial productions. So our chefs write a handwritten note to each and every customers, and they get to know each other. You can write to the chefs, hey, last time it was great, this time do it a little bit less spicy, or things like that. And then they can write, hey, Kelsey, thank you so much for buying from me again. I really appreciate your support. And you feel the fact that someone actually made something especially for you. They cook your favorite dish, the things that you want especially for you. It's not like a restaurant that you can order this generic pasta bolognese or whatever, and you get at the same time as you like it. But here you feel like someone did something especially for you, and you get those cute little hand notes, and it makes the makes the difference.
Yeah, that's truly just it's a small gesture, but it means so much more to people.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Well, so Merav, if you wanted to leave our listeners as we wrap up with one thing, we talked about misconceptions, but if you wanted to leave our listeners with one thing, like I said, either about WoodSpoon or anything like that, what would you want to leave our listeners with?
So there is a few things. First of all, that the gig economy or shared economy, if you will, is a great way to support community and support people that want to sometimes be their own bosses and do what they want and be creative. And we're making them, helping them to be, to do whatever they want to do. And we create a platform for them to create their own brand and business. We can help them with everything that they want to do through food. But this is the main thing. And also, I think that I would like to add that our main business and our main focus at this moment is actually not private customers, individuals. It's more businesses. So business side, the B2B aspect of the business, business to business, grown significantly
Yeah.
in the last few months.
Yeah.
So we are catering a lot of regular lunches for companies, happy hours, board meetings, offsites. We're doing a lot of those types of catering and deliveries, and this is where our main focus at the moment, rather than delivering to individuals.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I'm sure that's a great way to expand the business for you as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, Merav, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time to be on Business Ninjas, share your passion behind WoodSpoon. Certainly, like as a mom growing this business, that's a feat in itself. But being able for you and your co-founder to really expand on the importance of community, like you talked about, making people feel welcomed, and those handwritten notes, and also to expanding into that B2B space. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you so much. I had an amazing time here. Thank you for having me.